Hey everyone, so we are back. I'm going to be doing another video. I just posted one, discharging this LiPo at around 130 amp or so peak. This one's just recharging again. And I'm going to just show differences. You know, the A123 cells have been amazing cells. Been around for quite a few years now, and they've had a really good reputation. And I still think they're quite good. Probably not as energy dense as the LiPos are, but very impressive for a 2.3 amp hour cell compared to, that's a 5 amp hour cell. So I'm not going to change the bank. This is an older A123. I don't know how many cycles. I'm going to probably guess these, I think when I got them, I don't even remember, like these could have been from drill packs and stuff. I'm going to say 200 to 300 cycles on this. The IR, I'm going to test it right now. So this was just fully charged on the iCharger. Just a sec, let me just hook up the IR meter and I'll show you. Okay, IR meter is hooked up. So 3.56 volt, 7.2 milliohm. I think the data sheet reads these around 10 milliohms, so if I'm not mistaken, that's lower than it is. So I'm just measuring best I can off my little connectors there. I think those are 4 or 5 millimeter billet connectors. Again, same test rig that you saw in the previous Turning G 5 amp hour discharge video with the fan and 7 discharge resistors, 0.15 ohm, 200 watts each. So this test is nothing for these resistor bank. So I'm gonna connect this. I'm really gonna push this A123, like, so these are rated for, I believe, 30C continuous 60 amp bursts. So I think it works out like burst is like 120, 130 amp. And I think constant's like 70 amps, 60, 70 amps. So I'm just gonna go all out and just run this down at, I'm guessing it's going to probably peak around 100 amps because this is lower voltage. This one was around 130 amps, but the LiPos are about 4.2 when they're fully charged. This is only about 3.65. So it's going to be not 130 amps, but probably maybe, I think we'll hit over 100 at least, if I had to guess. So I'm going to hook this up real quick. I'm going to keep the meter connected here with the resistance and the voltage. Very accurate. Hyoko 3551 battery high tester. So very similar to the one Dr. Bass has, and you've probably seen on some of his videos as well. So I got very fortunate to find one very similar local to me, and I ended up picking it up for a pretty great deal. So happy to have this precision measuring tool just like the doctor does. And all right, I'll get the test started and I'll come back as quick as I can with the leads connected. All right, one sec. All right, so I guess I was a little bit off with how accurate it would be. Oh, this is harder than I thought it would be. Okay, well, we're gonna get about 30C constant if I can get this to focus. All right, so not as heavy load as I thought it would be, but we're still getting 78 amps load. The IR is going down as the voltage goes down and the temperature goes up. Let's see, 80 amps. 1 amp hour is out of the battery. This was sitting around, I think, 3 volts. I charged it up. It went just over 2 amp hour, just went into the cell. So you can tell it's a little worn down. It's not really a brand new cell per se. But look at the consistency, and the voltage is just holding. .7 amp hour. Still holding 5.3. I'm trying to hold this best I can. So, okay, there we go. It's going to drop. I'm going to cut the video. Thanks. All Alright, so we're back. So you know what's very interesting? So this was running a 30C, and look at the amp hour, almost 2.3 amp hour pulled out of this battery. It's quite warm. That was a very quick test. Wow, 90 degrees. 90. Wow, that's hot. 92. So we are running proudly. It's more. Hold on, shut this off. Alright, we're running more than 30C. I would say 35 to 40C on this 2.3 amp hour cell. And it's pulling like, okay, I cut it off just over, it just dropped over under 2 volts, but it pulled 2.278 amp hour at full C load. That's crazy. As where you compare it to this one, which is pretty worn out too. The Turnigy 20C, so 5 amp hour LiPo. I did test this at one point. I think it was pulling about, did I write down? Oh, I didn't write down the cell. I tested some cells in the pack. They were about 4.3, 4.2 amp hour, and I tested them at 2C. So this one pulled, it's almost done charging. When we checked our meter here, it was about 3,800 milliamp hour that it pulled, and I discharged it. Well, it bounced back around 3.6 volts, but it dropped to, like, at one point it was just under hitting about 2 volts when I disconnected it. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. You know, this is delivering true true milliamp hour rating at a friggin' serious load. It is really hot though. Let's see. Sorry about the flash there. I'm just trying to keep the video some good lighting. This A123 has been probably asleep, dormant for like 2 years. I just charged it right up. It was sitting around 3 volts, and I just ran a heavy discharge test on it. And that just goes to show the quality of the A123 cells. I'm probably going to do another load test on this LiPo before I go to sleep tonight. I don't know if I'll post it, but I hope this is some interesting video for you guys. Let's see what the IR is of the cell. I'm going to try to measure it one more time. So it's really hot right now, but well, this is a little hard. Hold on. Just a sec. Alright, hold on. I got my meter connected, or my tester. So it's a 7.2 milliohms, 2.7 volt it's sitting at. So it did drop under load, but it's not below 2 volts. So it still had a little bit more in it, probably a couple MAs left. It's really hot, so I mean, just to I guess I'm just gonna show you guys one more time. 2.2 amp hour, about 90 amps peak, 1.95 watt hour, yeah, 4.3 watt hour. There you go. So yeah, so conclusion, I guess. You know, for simplicity sake, assembling battery packs and stuff, I prefer the Turnigys. But when you get to the nitty gritty, if you want to be all, you know, capacity, what you get out of the cell, continuous load. So this doesn't deliver the full, even though I measured let's just say 4.3 amp hour, you know, it's an old cell. This only delivered about 3,800, so the rest of it's lost in heat. This got extremely hot. We'll say this one got around 60 to 70 degrees, and the load was greater. So, I mean, it's not so much, I guess, an exact accurate load. This one was discharged around 130 amps, 110, 120, around there, from 4.2 volts all the way to the end of charge. This one, we discharged about 90 amps, and then it obviously dropped a little bit as the test went on, but it stayed pretty constant because these only charge at 3.65 to, and they drop at 2 volts roughly. These go from 4.2 I usually like to cut them out about, for e-bike application, about 3.5 volts is where I stop discharging them. But for testing, I'll bring them to 3 volts. Probably for this test, because I didn't really care so much, this probably dropped to under 3. But yeah, you can see a difference. So, I mean, start to finish, you know, how much... so this, well, I guess this is 2.3 amp hour. So you did 30, 35 amp load. It's a smaller cell, 2.3 amp hour. And this is 5 amp hour. And we did more like 20, 25 C on this one. So yeah, it's a pretty cool test. Both great cells. I have to say, from experience, the A123s are a lot more stabler in cold climates. So I am in Canada here. If I was e-biking in the winter, definitely A123s. Lipos, probably lightweight, definitely. Great performance. Like I have, one of my pack is a 24S 4P 20C turn G pack, and it was really easy. I bought the lipos. I put them in 4 parallel 4 packs in series. They're 22 or 6S packs, so to get 24S packs. And my voltage sag on these is like at about 150, 200 amp load. I think it's like around 5 volts, which is fantastic considering all the connections and stuff that you end up having with the lipo packs, right? So here's one of the packs I have. So with those connections there, right? So I wired in such a way to get low, as much, I guess the most current spread over the most. Basically, per se, each pack only sees about 50 amp discharge max on my KMX trike. So that's why my lipos last a lot longer. That's why my voltage sag isn't so much. But whereas, if I want to build the same pack and have similar voltage sag, I probably would put like 4 or 6 of these in parallel and maybe do like a 24S, 28S pack. And, I think it would be about the same. Anyways, I don't want to keep talking here. I think I'm just... but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the testing, and it was somewhat informative to some guys out there that are building packs, or whether it be for RC or e-bike application. But thanks for watching.